People imagine a wild party. It is a persistent image. They see bodies moving without care. They hear loud music. They hear chaotic laughter under a hot sun. This is the myth, a story told in movies. This is the myth in whispered jokes. It paints a picture of liberation as a kind of frenzy. It suggests a place where all rules have been forgotten. The myth suggests a world without boundaries. The myth suggests a continuous festival of the flesh. It is a powerful idea, but it is rarely the truth. It is a caricature drawn by outsiders who have never stepped past the front gate. It is a fantasy built on assumption. The reality, on a quiet Tuesday morning in October, is something else entirely. It is the gentle clink of a ceramic mug against a saucer. It is the soft rustle of a newspaper being turned. A man in his late 60s sits on his porch, a towel draped over the wicker chair. He is reading the sports section. A woman tends to her tomato plants, her skin warmed by the mild autumn sun. A small terrier mix trots happily along a gravel path. Its owner follows at a leisurely pace. The contrast between the imagined and the actual is the central story of these places. The world outside sees a spectacle. The world inside experiences a retreat. The myth is loud. The myth is colorful. The myth is sexualized. The reality is muted. The reality is simple. The reality is often deeply domestic. People are not performing nudity. They are simply existing without the layer of clothing. It is a subtraction, not an addition. They have removed something, and what is left is a quiet sense of normalcy. It is a caricature drawn by outsiders who have never stepped past the front gate. It is a fantasy built on assumption. The reality, on a quiet Tuesday morning in October, is something else entirely. It is the gentle clink of a ceramic mug against a saucer. It is the soft rustle of a newspaper being turned. A man in his late 60s sits on his porch, a towel draped over the wicker chair. He is reading the sports section. A woman tends to her tomato plants, her skin warmed by the mild autumn sun. A small terrier mix trots happily along a gravel path. Its owner follows at a leisurely pace. At its core, a nudist colony, or more commonly a naturist resort or clothing-optional community, is a private space. This distinction is everything. It is not a public park or a beach where anyone can wander in. It is a club, a cooperative, or a resort with a gate, a check-in desk, and a set of rules. Membership is often required. Guests must sign waivers. They agree to a code of conduct. This structure creates a bubble, a small world operating under a shared social agreement. The agreement is simple. Within these boundaries, being without clothes is the accepted norm. These places are not monolithic. They come in many forms, each with its own distinct personality. Some are sprawling resorts in Florida or Arizona, with swimming pools, tennis courts, and organized shuffleboard tournaments. They feel like any other retirement community, just with fewer clothes. Others are rustic camps tucked away in the forests of Vermont or the Pacific Northwest. Here, the focus is on nature with hiking trails, simple cabins, and communal fire pits. A day inside a nudist community unfolds with a rhythm that is almost shockingly mundane. The sun rises, coffee is brewed, people emerge from their small homes, RVs, cabins. Someone might be walking a dog along a paved road, waving a quiet good morning to a neighbor. Another person might be sitting on their deck, listening to the birds and checking emails on a laptop. The morning activities are the same ones happening in any suburban neighborhood across America. The only difference is the absence of pajamas or jogging shorts. It is life stripped down to its essentials. Activities fill the day, but they are rarely the wild events of popular imagination. There might be a water aerobics class in the community pool, the participants bobbing gently in the water. There could be a group of friends playing pickleball, the thwack of the plastic ball echoing across the courts. A group of people of various ages playing volleyball on a sand court. Someone else is likely in the community garden, pulling weeds or checking on their zucchini plants. Meals are a central part of the day. People might gather for a potluck dinner, sharing casseroles and salads, their conversations drifting from local news to family updates. Every nudist community operates on a strict set of rules, both written and unwritten. These rules are the invisible architecture that makes the entire enterprise possible. The most important rule is about respect. This is not a vague suggestion. It is a rigid code of conduct. Staring, gawking, unwanted advances, suggestive comments, overt sexual behavior, grounds for immediate expulsion. The atmosphere is intentionally desexualized.
This is the one place I don't have to worry about being looked at that way. I'm just a person, not an object.
Photography is another area governed by strict policy. Taking pictures, taking videos, without explicit informed consent from every person in the frame is absolutely prohibited. Many places ban cell phones, pool areas, other central gathering spots. This rule is about protecting privacy. Members come here to escape constant surveillance. They want no image ending up on the internet. This fierce protection of privacy is non-negotiable. Then there is the towel rule, a cornerstone of nudist etiquette. You must always carry a towel. Before you sit, chair, bench, lounge, place your towel down first, a simple matter of hygiene and courtesy. It also functions as a symbol of belonging. Forgetting your towel marks you as a newcomer. The origins of American nudism are not found in the free love counterculture of the 1960s, as many assume. The roots go deeper, back to late 19th and early 20th century Germany. There, a movement known as Lebensreform, life reform, championed a return to nature as an antidote to the ills of industrialization. This philosophy promoted vegetarianism, alternative medicine, Freikörperkultur, free body culture, or FKK. The idea was that sunlight, fresh air, and being unburdened by restrictive clothing were essential for physical and mental health. It was a wellness movement, not a social rebellion. These ideas traveled to the United States with German immigrants. In 1929, Kurt Barthel, an immigrant familiar with FKK, helped establish the first official nudist club in America, the American League for Physical Culture, near Peekskill, New York. Early nudism, or naturism as proponents preferred, was framed around health, family, and a wholesome connection to the natural world. It was presented as a scientific and almost clinical practice, far removed from any hint of impropriety. Early groups published journals filled with articles on the health benefits of sunbathing and exercise. The movement grew slowly and quietly through the mid-20th century. If you ask 10 different members why they joined a nudist community, you might get 10 different answers. Yet underneath their individual stories, a few common themes emerge. The most frequent is a profound sense of freedom and relief. It is the relief of shedding not just clothes, but the constant low-level anxiety about one's appearance. A retired teacher from Arizona, gesturing toward the world beyond the gate, you're always thinking about what you're wearing. Is it right for the occasion? Does it make me look fat? Here, that entire channel of worry just goes silent. It's liberating. For many, it is a journey toward body acceptance. In a world saturated with idealized, airbrushed images, a nudist resort is a place of radical reality. Bodies are not perfect. Old, young, large, small, scarred, wrinkled, tattooed. Seeing this diversity as normal helps people make peace with their own reflection.
I spent my whole life hating my thighs. The first time I came here, I was terrified. But then I looked around. I saw real people. And after a while, I just forgot to be self-conscious. I stopped hiding.
Another powerful motivator is the search for a genuine community. Because these places are small, built on a foundation of shared vulnerability, they often foster deep and authentic connections. The absence of clothing acts as a social leveler. You cannot judge someone by the brand of their suit or the price of their dress. You have to engage with them as a person.
You meet people here you'd never meet otherwise. There's no posturing. Conversations feel more honest. My best friends are people I met right here playing volleyball.
Finally, many people simply come for the uncomplicated joy of being in nature. It is about feeling the sun on your entire skin, the water enveloping your body when you swim, the breeze as you walk through the woods. It is a sensory experience, a way of feeling more connected to the physical world.
It just feels right. It feels human, like this is how we were always meant to be, at least for a little while.
This simple, elemental pleasure is perhaps the most enduring reason of all. The world of America's nudist colonies is ultimately a quiet one. It is a world more concerned with potluck dinners than with wild orgies. It is a world more focused on community rules than on anarchic freedom. It is a subculture that has been persistently misunderstood, defined by loud, sensationalist myths rather than its calm and gentle reality. The stories from inside are not about shock value. They are about the search for peace. They are about acceptance. They are about a small patch of ground where one can exist without judgment. It is a story about ordinary people seeking a simple, less complicated way of living. To understand these places is to look past the nudity itself. The absence of clothing is the mechanism, not the goal. The goal is to create a space of psychological safety. It is a place where the body is neutralized, stripped of its power to signify status, beauty, worth. Members hope to connect more authentically with themselves and with each other. This is not a universal solution, nor is it for everyone. But for those who choose it, it offers a profound respite from the pressures of the clothed world. Privacy remains the most precious commodity. The fear is not of being seen without clothes by fellow nudists, but of being exposed and ridiculed by the outside world. This is why the rules against photography are so absolute. This is why members are often reluctant to speak publicly about their lifestyle. They are not asking for approval or for everyone to join them. They are asking for the right to be left alone and for their private communities to be respected as private. This is not an argument for nudism. It is an invitation to understanding. The world is vast and contains countless ways of being. This is just one of them. It is a choice made by adults to form a community around a shared principle of respect and natural living. The most important takeaway is not about whether being nude is right or wrong. It is about the value of respecting private choices and looking beyond our own assumptions. The truth of these places is softer and more human than the myths. It is a quiet story, and it deserves to be heard that way.